Hi there, welcome to Culture. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Culture Kitchen. My name is Simon. I work in the international department at VIU, Vancouver Island University. This is our weekly online show where we share cooking recipes. It's often students who show you a step-by-step guide to how to make certain foods. Today I'm going to be the chef once again. It's been a little while for me. I've been on my summer break. So today I'm going to make one of my favorite recipes. It's just maple syrup salmon. A simple way to enjoy salmon, and it's kind of a West Coasty type of thing. So I'm just going to review the ingredients that I've prepared. So as you can see on this side is the salmon fillet. This can be easily found at grocery stores, usually frozen. You can use any kind of salmon you want, but I go for the pink salmon, largely because it's affordable compared to the other types of salmon, like coho and sockeye. But it's great, it's delicious, and it's kind of underappreciated in my mind. Let's call it the people salmon, maybe, as far as the grocery store salmon goes. Veggies, always like to mix up my veggies with my protein in the same pan, so that's what's going to be happening. We've got carrots sliced up. We've got broccoli and onion, as well as zucchini here, which is from my garden. And that I probably wouldn't normally put in, but I like to use what's in season. Add a little nutrition that way. Oh, let's turn that music down a bit. Yeah. Hey everybody who's tuning in live, thanks for checking out the show. Alright, I'm going to move the camera over to the stove. I've got the pan or the stove set to a low heat. Alright, so I've actually gone to a a cast iron pan. People who watch my early episodes may remember my commentary about how hard it is to keep a truly non-stick over time. I've switched to cast iron. It also requires its own level of care, but I like it so far. So I've decided to use butter. You could use oil, of course. Turn that music down. And you want to do low heat with salmon, with a lot of foods. I mean, the key is to not overcooking. You don't want to burn anything. So I've got the butter in there. The pan was preheated at a low setting, just on number 2. I'm going to add the onion first, kind of as the base. Spread that around. And I'll also add the carrots too, because they take a little bit to cook. Yeah, just kind of get that going. Okay. There we go. All right. I know some friends that I've shown this recipe to have been really impressed. One, because it's easy, it's delicious. You don't have to bake salmon. I mean, there's many ways to cook salmon. You could bake it, you could barbecue it. Pan frying is quite simple, I find. And again, you just want to remember that low heat scenario will get your best result. Overcooked fish just isn't, you know, it's unfortunate if you get to that point. So you want to watch over this dish as you're cooking it. I have the lid here. You can't see, but I have the lid because I'm going to more or less steam the fish to a degree. All right, what else? So I called it maple syrup salmon because it uses maple syrup. So maybe this makes it extra Canadian. And just like to emphasize, if you want the real deal, you want to go for the 100% maple syrup. The other kind are usually just 15%, and it'll work, but it's just mostly a high fructose sugar, or your regular sugar is not maple syrup. So that's the real deal. Also, very important to this flavor, I use a steak spice medley. This one's often called Montreal steak spice. So anything kind of a salt and pepper medley would do. This one I like quite a bit though for this dish. and your classic soy sauce as well, just a little bit. Not much to it. I'm going to add the salmon there. I know some people think it's a little bit different to like put everything in the pan together. That's what I like to do because whenever you're cooking a protein or meat, fish, there's some good flavors that come off of it, and why not kind of infuse that with the veggies. I should also mention I generally serve this with rice, and then those veggies that are all kind of flavored up from the salmon, you kind of mix in with the veggies or put over top of the veggies. Like a lot of times, I kind of overcrowd my pan. There's a lot of stuff in this pan. You know, probably a bigger pan would be reasonable, but sometimes what I do doesn't always, I don't know. It's maybe not optimum, but I say it works, and that's what's important, right? It works. And as the veggies cook down and as the salmon cooks down, they'll shrink actually. There's a lot of water that comes out of them. So there we go. Again, it's low heat. If you're just tuning in, folks, this is Culture Kitchen. Simon here, and I'm doing the cooking today. And it's maple syrup salmon. I'm not sure. My dad actually showed me this recipe some time ago, and then he forgot, and I made it for him, and he didn't even remember that he's the one who showed me. But anyway, it's become a classic in my repertoire. So another step here, essential for the flavor we're going for, is adding the maple syrup. So you just drizzle that on top. You'll get the angle better again. So maple syrup, I'm pretty generous with it. Some of it goes on the veggies, that's fine. That's actually desirable. And then I add the steak spice, also generous with that. And that's basically a salt and pepper medley, a few other things in there, peppercorns. Gonna generously spread that around on the fish, you know, a little bit on the veggies too. And then just a little amount of soy sauce, really just a couple drops. Yeah, because that's already too much. There we go. And then, you know, with that excess sauce, you can stir it around a bit and mix it in with the veggies. And then it won't be too salty. I'm going to put the lid on, turn the heat up a bit to maybe 3.5, and just let it cook. All right, folks. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Dana and Heather, who took over Culture Kitchen for me while I was away on my vacation days. They did a great job, brought in some other students and some host families. So that was really cool to keep it going over these weeks. I'm going to get on my phone here and see who's tuned in live, see if we could have a little bit of conversation. All right. Okay, I see myself now. We've got 8 people watching. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know, and I can speak to you directly over this thing. Okay. We do have some people commenting. Right on. Tammy and David are watching. Hello, Za, over from Vancouver. Right on. Dana, hello. Let's see. Dana, we had fresh salmon last night. Salmon burgers tonight. Right on. Za from Van Groovy. Yeah, I was just there. It's great. Vancouver's rocking. Oh, Maya wants the recipe posted. I can do that. Enjoyed connecting with Enrique for Culture Kitchen. Yeah, Dana connected with a student from Mexico, who was in Mexico, in fact, last week. So that was cool. Right on. Okay. Great. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And hope you enjoy this recipe. It is, as you can see, it's pretty quick. It's really like That's all there is to it. You just want to be watching that and make sure that it's cooked. Basically with salmon, so it's just cooked. That's the best way to get all the flavor and enjoy the flavor, not have it dry. So I'll take us over to back to the stove. You can see what's going on there. So it's looking pretty good. Salmon's starting to cook. Well, it's almost cooked through. The veggies are soaking up all of that salmon and maple syrup goodness, which is what we want. I don't know, how do people feel about mixing your main protein dish with the veggies in the same pan? I don't know. To me, it makes a lot of sense. And I don't know, I have had comments. Maybe it was just my sister. It was like, "Wow, you put everything in the same pan?" I do, and it's beneficial. But I also kind of picked up on the food tradition from, I don't know, the Caribbean and different places where you kind of have a stew-like thing you pour over the rice. Most meals or many meals are that way, and you have a lot of flavor in whatever people even call it a gravy, right? Whatever you've made from the dish, the sauces or the fat that comes off of the meat flavors the veggies and meat go over your rice. And that way you're not just eating a plain rice like I grew up with. I didn't really like rice growing up because I only knew it as a plain side dish. But after traveling, I've discovered that's not really the way to enjoy it. You gotta flavor it up with the juices from the food you're cooking. Okay. So that's looking good. I've just stirred up the veggies a bit. Again, you can freestyle, free ball it, or however you want to describe that kind of cooking. Use what you have in the fridge, use what you have in the garden. I've gone for broccoli, carrot, onion, and then zucchini was the local added veggie that's I picked just yesterday from my garden. First zucchini of the year. And I do have lots of Swiss chard I could have added as well, but I've been having that in every breakfast for the last few weeks. So give myself a little break now. So I'll put the lid back on. You could flip those pieces of salmon and make sure that the other side gets cooked enough, but I think I'm just going to be patient and let it do its thing over time. Back to the comments. Got it looks yummy. Oh, Tammy made turmeric salmon. David, my roommate, he's gonna be a bit late tuning in. Well, if he gets here in a bit, he'll be able to try this. Right on. All right, I'm gonna start. We're almost at the end here, amazingly. I'm gonna get the plate ready because, as you may know, plating is a really important part of cooking, especially if you're cooking for someone else. But I would say even if you're cooking for yourself, it's nice to put in that extra effort and time to really make your food into something that looks very appetizing, very pleasing. And remember, in this self or semi-isolation time, although it's really opened up a lot here in BC, but still for some people, maybe it's a lot of time at home. Make your everyday things leisure activity, right? Cooking. I have my little record player set up here. Can you see it there in the kitchen? You want to listen to music while you cook, get in the vibe. You can have your wine or whatever and just enjoy the process, whether that's you're cooking for someone else or even for yourself. So, Sanchit's tuned in. Hey, right on. Okay, I'm going to get my rice on the plate. Checking on that fish. Oh, it's almost done. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit. All right, Culture Kitchen return. Well, it's not returning. It's been here the whole time, thanks to Dana and Heather. I've returned. That's what's happened. VIU Simon back on the scene, back to work. my new era of work, which has largely been an online TV personality. Who would have predicted, hey? But yeah, good to be back and good to be connecting this way. But it was great to be out in nature, I gotta say. I tried to get out of the house as much as I could, get on the road, stop in at different parks, different parts of BC. All right, so I've got a healthy amount of rice on the plate. This is the moment, folks. Maybe I'll turn the music up. Okay, back to the pan. And if you're just tuning in now, this is my maple syrup salmon with steak spice. I use pink salmon, the most accessible salmon in my experience in terms of price, and it's also very good. You don't need to go for the high price coho and sockeye. If you have access to it, wonderful. But if those prices just keep you away, or you don't have fishers in your family, pinks are great to work with. Really tasty, really nice fish. You can get them frozen fillets at any grocery store. Oops. All right, there we go. Just scooping up some of those veggies along with some of the water that goes with it. The salmon water, which, you know, maybe doesn't sound that appetizing. You say, would you like some salmon water over your rice? But just trust me, it adds a lot of flavor. Maybe just don't describe it that way to your guests. Okay. And I'm gonna add a little garnish to it. Not sure what you can see here so far. I'm just gonna keep you on the pan. Culture Kitchen live, anything can happen. Although it's pretty safe today. What am I looking for? Underneath the VIU banner. Just be a second, folks. You know how presentation's important, so a little garnish just to really take it to another level. Hey, Marcelo's tuned in too. Apa kabar, Marcelo from Indonesia. There we go, a couple of pickled asparagus. I'm gonna turn the heat off for the rest of the food in the pan. And I'll get you a good view of the finished meal here. Okay, Culture Kitchen coming to a conclusion here. You're gonna see the final thing here. Hopefully I don't spill it onto the computer. There we go. Eesh, that's a bit tricky to show you. So we've got the salmon fillet, not overcooked. You can see I was generous with the steak spice. That maple syrup just kind of soaked into it. Spread into the veggies as well on a bed of rice. A couple of nice pieces of pickled asparagus as a side garnish. And that's it. And I mean that there is the tradition of me tasting it, or whoever's cooking tasting. So I'll do that, and that'll be the end of the show for this week. So let's see if it's up to my own standards. I have made this many times, but I can still mess it up. Pretty good. Pretty good. Actually, in fact, it's great. It's delicious. I'm just not feeling super expressive. But if I was, no, it's good. I'm happy about the result. I would make this for a friend. Even if I wanted to impress someone, I'd go with this dish. So there you have it, folks. This is maple syrup salmon with pink salmon, veggies in the pan with the salmon. So maple syrup, Montreal steak spice, bit of soy sauce, broccoli, carrots, onion, and zucchini over rice. That's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Culture Kitchen, only on VIU Cultural Connections, every Tuesday at approximately 5 p.m. I'm your regular host. I am looking for new student hosts for the coming weeks, so if you're interested, please get in touch with me. Simon.Shackner@viu.ca is my work email. Otherwise, you can find me here on Facebook as VIU Simon. I'll just check the message. It's alive. Okay. All right. We have love for salmon from Sabri. Nice. Hola, Sabri. Thanks for tuning in. And I want people to try these recipes they're seeing on Culture Kitchen and let us know how it goes. All right. But once again, if you want to host or anyone you know wants to host, student or alumni of Vancouver Island University, please get in touch with me. And hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, folks, keep checking out VIU Cultural Connections. Spread the word. Tell your friends. We have lots of programming. My other show, my new show, Just Checking In with VIU Simon, where I call students sort of at random. There'll be a new episode this week, by the end of the week. There's only been one episode so far. It's a lot of hype. But anyway, it's going to happen. And that's it. Thanks again. And the music was by Buckman Coe, an artist out of Vancouver.